Welcome back to Premier League and Pints, Episode 7, Game Week 6. We have a good week. We have a review, a preview, and do we have a new best duo of all time? I think we might.
You know what we do have a new of?
Dan's shaking his head no.
New setup.
We do have a new setup.
They have a good start to the season and the best duo of all time.
I think they might be the best duo of all time.
They're
it's a question.
100%.
We're here now, guys.
Well, you know what?
What's going on?
What
have they won?
We're gonna
What have they won?
We're going to talk about it.
All right.
We're not getting there yet. We're going to talk about it.
Can you
What?
hear that?
The sizzle?
Yeah.
Sizzle sounds nice.
We're in a new
Oh, it's
location
almost-
today, too.
We are in a new
Yeah.
location, so
If you're watching from YouTube,
the acoustics sound better, then it's
Still-
because we moved.
Still in the basement, though.
We are still in the basement. We just moved over a little bit. Okay,
and if they sound worse, it's also because we moved.
100%.
Um,
It's Game Week 6, boys. Let's get into
get
it.
into it.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, first game of the weekend. We had Leeds and Villa, the undefeated Villa.
Big game.
They were undefeated.
We were all looking forward to this one, I think.
And a Hattie.
Bamford went off.
Dude, good for
Yeah.
him. I
By the
feel
way,
like he's been written off by a lot of people, like saying like he can't make it in the Premier League, and he's off to a great start so
That
far.
was
6
incredible.
goals in 6 games, which is
Absolutely
not an
incredible.
easy task. Not
Okay.
many people are doing that right now.
And Leeds, who, not a terrible team right now, but you expect Villa to win this game, especially they're undefeated.
Well, I mean, if you use
First loss of the
normal soccer logic, so Villa beat Liverpool 7-2, and then lost to Leeds by 3. So I mean, that means next time Leeds plays Liverpool, they should win by like 8, right? Is that how that math works?
Yeah.
Or 9?
Well, I mean, if logic like that worked, Villa almost got relegated last year and we're up by 1 point, and they should not be
They should be
up
4-1
top.
right now.
Yeah.
You know what, Dan? Don't rain on my parade.
Ran.
Oh,
Rain-
no, not again. Not
I
again
said
with this
rain. I
communication.
100% said rain.
Play it back.
Clip it. No, he didn't. He said rain.
Well, don't rain on my parade either. Okay, moving on. Actually, no, we don't have to move on yet. Leeds, after a horrible offensive performance against Wolves the week before, comes out and scores 3. Their prolific offense is back. They took a week off, apparently.
You know what? Like it's crazy. Like they take a week off, pretty much do nothing last week, and this past week, going forward, they looked incredible.
They
The
did.
ball movement going forward was great. Their counterattacking was just the one-touch passing, the quick movement on and off the ball was fantastic. And then clearly, they found a finisher in Bamford because
There were some nice finishes
Killing it.
too. He had. I mean, the second goal, like, it was a really nice finish, like on top of the box.
Yeah.
Goalie didn't have a chance. And then the third one, he was in the 18 and just had way too much time. The defenders, like, there were 3 defenders around him.
Yeah.
He
They were
literally
good.
changed his position on his feet, moved around
Yeah.
the ball, and then just fucking placed the
Yeah,
top
I
corner.
think he went right to left, like stopped the ball to
Yeah.
a half step and just kind of floated one top corner. Like I was like, oh, that is impressive as all hell.
Well,
I mean,
we've talked about Villa a lot this year, but the one thing we didn't really praise much was their defense. It was more their going forward that we said was going to be good this year.
Yeah.
Villa defense this week took a strong step back, I think. I mean, they didn't look great. The middle of the field was completely open, even with Grealish as the defense. They just couldn't get anything going forward, and when they got a counterattack, they had no response to
and
Leeds
you
coming
know,
forward
you know,
at all.
And the way they've started the season, you wouldn't expect this kind of result out of this game. I said you expect their midfield to show
Actually,
up. You expect your defense to kind of.
To me, there is no expected results this year because nothing makes any sense. So,
yeah, nothing does.
Yeah.
Make sense.
like, there's no game this week where I'm going to be like, or any game for the rest of the season where I'm going to be like, this one's a lock, because unless they're playing like Fulham, like, I don't think anything's a lock.
Yeah, it's a lock. Yeah.
I think anyone against Fulham might be a lock.
Fuck you, Fulham. Sorry, Fulham fans, you guys suck.
But I
Come
think
on,
this
Fulham,
game,
you know.
this game kind of brings Villa back down to reality. Like,
Yeah.
they had a great start. They're definitely a much improved team from last year, but I don't see them finishing top 6 or anything.
I think we had them 8 last week.
Yeah.
I think we said 8 for
think
them
I-
would
I
be a
think I
good
had
finish.
2.
But the way they started, we were like really high on them, and like we should have been. They were definitely playing a lot better than they have in the past. But I think reality's starting to set in. They had a big win against Liverpool, which was a fluke. But
You know what?
Yeah, I think if this game ends like 3-2, it's a different conversation. But they just didn't look as dangerous as they need to against Leeds. Like, the Leeds-Liverpool game was a toss-up, but it was a 4-3 game. You know what I mean? Like, this was a 3-0, pretty convincing win, at least on the score sheet. And most of all on the field, I think, as my eyes looking at it.
and we'll talk about it, but looking ahead real quick to their next game against Southampton, which we'll talk about when we get there, but that's a game that I'm pretty excited to watch based
good
on
game.
the results
That'd be another
that just
good one.
happened. So,
anyway, that's Aston Villa who's playing them next week.
yeah.
Yeah, if you said to me last year Southampton versus Aston Villa and
It's gonna be a
asked me if
good
I was
game.
going to be excited
Game
about
you're
it,
excited.
I would have said absolutely not.
Just like you said, nothing makes sense anymore.
Nothing you
It's
take.
crazy.
And these are
it's
two hot
here.
teams right now, so
Yeah.
We talked about it
We'll get
last
into
year. This season is going to be like nothing we've seen in the recent years.
Ever.
So it's going to be incredible.
Moving on.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yikes.
Garrett.
Yep.
Man City 1. West Ham 1.
Yep. Yep.
Next game.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
At least your team scored.
We did score. I mean,
Yeah, at least your team scored. Nope.
Mine didn't.
I mean, it's this City this year. They just can't. They can't score. They can't finish. They like. I mean, they're not healthy. They've had injuries since the beginning of the season to key players, but it's like you should still be able to beat West Ham. I thought Foden, after getting subbed on, looked great. He was the only player creating anything.
5-6 minutes.
Yeah, he scored on a rebound, I think, off of a Sterling shot.
No, it was he passed it in. He took like a really nice touch.
Yeah, it
like
was the
back
touch
heel.
that was behind him, and he had to,
yeah,
readjust himself really quick.
It was like a quick snapshot, though.
We're going to his goal before we've been talking the Antonio goal. That like half semi-bicycle
Oh,
kick
the Antonio goal was
great
filthy.
finish.
Oh, that was disgusting.
Great finish. That's not easy to do.
No.
I mean,
defenders right in your back too. That's tough.
I want to get your thoughts on this because in the game they're kind of saying like, oh, it could have been a handball on I think it was Souček or something who was like on the outside, like it was in the play leading up to the goal. Like the ball came in, bounced. I couldn't really tell if it hit his arm or not. It was like close to his body, so it wasn't like a, flailing arm.
Right.
So that happened. He sent the ball in, and then Antonio scored. So like a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's a handball. Like you got to call it back."
By the rule,
The thing, I was saying,
technically,
the rule is even if it's intentional, non-intentional, if there's
but
any
I don't know if
handball
his
at
arm.
all
Yeah,
in the build-up,
it's
it
supposed
has
to be called back.
but I don't know if his arm. Like what's called a handball. Like how far does your arm
They
have
said
to
if it
be?
hits your arm
It's
at
supposed to be,
all,
yeah, if it
so even
strikes the
even
arm.
if it's close to your
That
body,
doesn't. No, that's
No,
the rule.
The rule is in the build-up, if it strikes your arm at any time in the build-up leading up to a goal, it has to be called back. So even if it's glued to his side.
So if defenders are like this and it hits their arm,
Not defenders. That's
That's-
attacking players.
Attacking
It's different
players.
rules. The rules are different for. We had this argument, I think, either at the beginning of this or just
here we
within
go
ourselves.
again. Here we
But
go again.
we did.
The
But
rules are different for attacking players and defending players. It
just-
doesn't make any sense.
dumb.
You know what makes no sense? It's tire season.
Well, that's
It
true.
makes sense. There's a title, by the way.
Yeah. This,
The fact
this
that no
season
one
makes
can
sense.
understand what VAR is and what counts for VAR, what's a handball, what's not, makes it just it's a failure.
It's led to more questions and issues than it has
Guys, we have
results.
to stop talking about VAR.
But we can't
Because
That'll
we have
never
to title
stop.
yet another episode something to do with VAR.
because every single that's the problem with it. Every single week, there's something that happens that we have to talk
You
about.
mean like when we get to the Man U game, how we talk about that too?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The Man U game's
couple
another.
other
issue.
games
VAR
too,
didn't
but-
do.
Yeah, I don't understand the Man U one. But
We'll get
in a
to
minute.
it.
So
Another one too, and the Everton game is another one where I think there's more to talk about.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Jeez. Get there,
So
Jesus.
what do you think is the issue right now for City? I know you were trying to get to it.
They don't have creativity. I mean, they are hurt. I'm just gonna stutter a little bit there.
Creativity.
But they,
One of the most creative
like,
players in the world.
if
De Bruyne.
but they're not healthy. Like they're not healthy yet.
You have De Bruyne, Silva, Foden.
Check the starting
Who
lineup.
does Arsenal have that's creative? Don't say you're not creative.
Right, Arsenal doesn't have any creative players either, but that also shows in their
All right,
scoreline.
You're starting front three. We're starting Aguero and Mahrez.
Okay, Aguero's coming back from injury. That doesn't count.
Gundogan, Rodrigo, and Bernardo Silva.
Right, that's not a creative midfield.
Rodrigo's pretty good.
Rodrigo's a defensive midfielder.
Pretty good though.
Yeah, but he's not creative. That's my point to the argument.
Pretty good. Oh, and then that's I mean.
And you have the back four.
defenders, yeah.
Right, you don't have Foden. You don't have De Bruyne.
But you have one of the best outside backs in the league getting up and down the field in Kyle Walker, right?
Kyle Walker's a waste of space. Look, we don't have De Bruyne. You don't have Foden. Those are your two starting
on.
creative
came on,
midfielders.
though. When
Yeah, he
he
came
came
on, and what did he do? He freaking scored.
De Bruyne didn't.
No, De Bruyne came on late.
Yeah, so
And still created chances, but you can't have those. And it's chances without Aguero because Aguero gets subbed off because he's not fully
I'm
fit
also not
yet.
happy with Man U starting lineup, so it's fine.
Well, we're not talking about Man U. Guess what
I
game we're on?
understand
We're
your
on
pain.
Man
I
City, West Ham.
understand. Again, your team at least scored.
Yeah, your team sucks. What do you want? What do you want me- I could say it again.
Whatever.
You asked me what the problem with City was. I gave you the problem with City, and then you said Man U.
You don't lack creativity.
We do lack creativity when the guys that are creative don't play.
I'm gonna take it up with the manager, Garrett.
Well, what do you mean do? Send him a letter?
All right, we're moving on. Is there anything else you want to talk about in this game?
Yeah, I'll send you guys the letter I send to Pep to make sure that a De Bruyne plays next week.
Oh shit!
Please do.
What a start!
I will.
What
Don't
a
worry,
start
guys.
to the episode. This is fun.
Fulham, pals. Fulham's terrible. Here we go.
Yeah, I
This is so fucking.
don't really have too
Hey,
much
but
to
they
say
scored,
about this
though.
game, but I mean, Zaha's off to a hot start.
Dude, he's again.
continues.
Run.
This one wasn't a PK either. It was a nice cross in, and he got hurt on the play too.
Oh, he slid right into
He
that front
slid
post.
in, hit the post, and he was actually down, but he got back up, so it was good.
You-
But he also assisted the first goal too.
Beautiful pass.
Yeah,
He's involved this year.
So he goes down. I think he went down the left side, took the shot, he fell because when he was shooting, got parried up by the goalie. It came back to him like the top corner of the 18. He took a touch in, and he was looking like across the 18 and just no look played went in the box.
Yeah, really nice.
Beautiful pass.
He seems like he's more motivated this year. I don't know.
And that's what they were saying. I know in the beginning of the year, I think when they played United, how they named him captain and how he had
which had some kickback. They didn't think he deserved it.
But
so
now, like you're right, he looks like he wants to be there. He looks like he's ready to go, and it's kind of cool to see because he is a good player when he wants to be. So it's nice to see him actually.
I love when you read our descriptions. Fulham, still ass, still winless. You love to see it.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, not at all.
Yeah, viewers and listeners, they're still ass, still winless, by the way.
But I'll give them that. I
2-1.
mean, there was a red card in the 85th minute end of the game.
Yeah.
Honestly, forget how it happened.
No,
but
I gotta be honest. I don't think I watched a lot of this one.
You
But
weren't paying attention to Fulham?
I was actually watching this game, and Kearney's goal, Kearney, whatever, however you pronounce it, at the end was insane. It was top of the box. I don't know if it was a pass back, but it was a absolute piss missile. Goalie didn't have a chance.
Not a chance now.
And it didn't help me in fantasy because I still lost, but basically gave me a clean sheet, so I was happy about that.
Wait,
Or didn't give me a clean sheet. Ruined the guy's clean sheet on the other
that
team.
you're playing against.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Hey, whatever works.
But I'm done with that game.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys are.
I'm sorry, Fulham. Like you're getting relegated this year unless you sign Messi and like the transfer window next.
Even
spring.
then, the rest of your
Like,
team still
there's
sucks. It might not help.
you have nothing. You have nothing. You have
What?
no defense. You have nothing going forward. Your midfield is a waste of space. I'm sorry, you're gonna lose every game.
What are the odds that they sign Messi and?
Probably slim. I'm gonna say less than like 50% if I had to really be
I don't
bold
know,
about
man.
it.
Okay, so you're saying by
Fulham's-
48. You said less than 50, so saying by 48% they signed
About
Messi.
48, right? 100%.
Okay. 100% on the
100% on the 48%. Correct. 60%
right,
of the
moving
time
on.
it works every time.
Yeah, moving on.
Brian.
This is a barn burner.
This is
Man
Chelsea
U-
got screwed. In this game.
Man U and Chelsea. The game as a whole, I feel like neither team was like dominant. I feel like both team had their moments where they possessed the ball, they went forward. United had the better chances. I think Mendy in goal for Chelsea played phenomenal.
Played great.
He had a great game. I mean, United
He's kept 4 clean sheets in a row for Chelsea.
Yeah, United should have had a few goals.
I think they should put in check, but that's just me.
Yeah, they should have a few goals.
It's an option.
Chelsea shouldn't have had a goal on the corner kick.
This doesn't make any sense.
So Maguire is literally was
Azpilicueta. Say
Yeah.
that again. Say hard. Say his name.
Azpilicueta. That's close enough. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. He had Asby. I'm gonna call him that now. In a fucking.
Did you say as Pilapueta?
I don't know what I said.
Did you add an extra P in there?
Probably.
Well, the first time. Wait, hold on. The first time he said it, Brian goes, "Yeah, he had a hold of who was it? Azpilicueta."
I can never say that name. Whatever.
Just
So
totally
he-
avoided the name.
He has him in a headlock, pretty much. And Maguire.
Who? Who's in the headlock?
One of the defenders for Chelsea was up in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Fuck off.
Aspie.
So he pretty much has him in a headlock.
Yeah.
And he wins the header out, and he goes down. Everyone's complaining. That happens. 2 minutes later, United go down the field. Rashford touches away from him, gets clipped, goes down, and then VAR
Clipped.
barely,
Clipped is
barely.
not even the
So
definition of
bad.
what happened.
VAR takes a look at that, but nothing on the Maguire one. I was like, oh. I'm like, we got away with one there. That was a headlock
Maguire
and a yellow card.
was literally like under his arm
Oh,
and
yeah.
over his shoulder.
It
Like
was the armbar.
Yeah.
It's not an armbar.
Like if he wanted to, he could have choked him out from that
Choked him
position.
out.
I'm like,
It doesn't make any sense. Like how did and every person, the announcers were like, "That's a pen." They're like,
100%.
How does VAR not look at
when,
this?
when they kept showing the replay, I'm like, oh, VAR's looking at it. I'm like, that's penalty kick. And then they're like, well, VAR's taking a look. I'm like, yeah, of course they are. And then they show what VAR was looking at, and it was the Rashford thing. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, and the Rashford thing, Rashford touches around a defender, and no lie, the guy might have hit him with his big toe on his shin guard. And they were like, it's questionable. I'm like,
And it was after he passed the ball. So the ball was already off his foot. And it was like a half
So
second away.
bad.
like who makes these decisions? Like there hasn't been a more clear and obvious error than the Maguire on Azpilicueta. I don't think there has been.
No.
Like like
Like, that's as United.
every single person that knows the game of soccer can watch that play
oh, you can't do that.
and realize that that's not good. You're not allowed to
as
do
a
it.
United fan who hates Chelsea, and I want them to lose at all costs, that's a penalty kick. I don't care. Get it
Everyone.
right. You put in VAR for this reason exactly. let it do its job.
Like, I don't care if it's in the box. Like, that doesn't. That should. If you're gonna look at penalties, it shouldn't matter where it happens.
That's a foul anywhere else in the field.
Right.
100% of the time.
You got Maguire up there like grabbing his nip, and he's not getting anything for it.
Yeah, but
Poor guy's having a rough year.
Yeah. Maguire tackles his own players.
He's having a rough
He did score
year.
the week before though.
He did score.
He did.
Other than that,
The game was a good game.
Yeah.
Scoreless, but a good game.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
thought.
both teams were good on possession. They had their chances going forward, defended well. I think it was exactly 50 to 50 possession wise. Only one shot on net for Chelsea. United had 4, and I think like one of them Mendy had a save, and the other 3 were like, holy shit, how'd that not go in?
That's what I'm saying. Like we
Kepa's letting in all of those.
Yeah. I mean,
Mendy played well.
we said like for United, like they got away with one obviously with Maguire, and like Chelsea got screwed. But then again, Mendy bailed them out like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So like United easily could have won that game too.
Absolutely.
As Pilqueta, Kepa was in goal.
Nice.
Just wanted to say it. Show you.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, I don't know why I came to name, but
This was a game like that came in waves. Like it was like Man U would control for 10 minutes,
Yes.
then Chelsea would get the ball for 10 minutes, and it would go back and forth. And I think I would say, watching the game, I think Man U had better chances, had more chances. They were on the ball, even though it says 50-50. I feel like eye test, like it looked like Man U was the more dangerous team for most of the game.
I said that's why Mendy had a great game. He bailed Chelsea out a little
But
bit.
Chelsea did have good waves where they had possession for a long time. They were creative. They just unfortunately couldn't barely get a shot on net. But they had their build-ups, not their chances, but their build-ups were there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a 0-0 tie. I mean, technically, like looking at it, I'm trying to think like who's this better for? Like who's happier with the point than the other team? Like as a United fan, like I said, seeing the chances we had, I'm a little annoyed that we ended this way. I feel like we deserved it better. But then you can go back to the Maguire thing. Like they also deserve so.
and United was home, right?
Yeah, so I
think so.
honestly, might be a better result for Chelsea. Because I just feel like I mean, again, does home team even matter anymore? But to go to Old Trafford, I mean, you have a newer goalie to the league, bails you out a few times. I think that's a better result for them than it is for United. I think United probably disappointed they didn't take all 3 points.
Last
I'm
note,
kind of disappointed.
say last note on this game too is Pulisic got hurt, got subbed off, but did play this week in European competition,
Scored, too.
so he's okay.
Scored.
Yeah, I mean they were killing whoever they played, but yeah,
Yeah. All right.
I got nothing else.
Next game.
sliding on down. Up here we go.
Liverpool versus Sheffield.
Closer game than expected.
Liverpool 2, Sheffield 1. Some interesting goal scorers here. Firmino finally gets on the score sheet.
He couldn't find a goal
Finally.
to save his life
Weird-
for the last
weird
couple
goal,
end of the
too.
season.
Keeper makes
Yeah.
a great save on a Mane header, and he's just standing there. And he just
It's
taps it
crazy
in.
too, because like Mane was like inside, like he was pretty close to he's probably inside the 6-yard box,
great
and
save.
it was like a power header, and the goalie actually did really good to keep it out, but unfortunately went right
Right to Firmino.
to
And there's
Firmino.
nothing else the goalie could do there. Like you can't like get that anywhere else with a rebound. You can't hold that.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't have the time to think. Let me hit it the other way.
No, the
like,
only
you're
it's
just
a straight
reaction.
reactions there.
everything he possibly could, and as a goalie, like that is the worst feeling when you feel like you did everything you possibly could. You feel like you made a great save. And you pick your head up, and there's a guy in the team just tapping it in. You're
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
But I
What
wonder
the
what
fuck?
that little tap in is going to do for his confidence. Like, who knows if this kind of
Shit ton,
kickstarts,
I feel
kickstarts for him. He's never been that really goal scoring forward. Obviously, we've said in the past, like he's more of like in the build up play, and like he's
Right.
more supplemental for Mane and Salah on the outside. So who knows? Maybe he'll get on the end of more goals now. I think it could help.
I mean, I'm sure it helps his confidence a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was a goal. It wasn't a great goal. It wasn't but it scored. And sometimes all you need is that mental block to get away,
Yeah.
to play with more confidence. Because his finishing as a forward has been pretty much abysmal for the last 9-10 games Liverpool's played. I mean, he's had chances to score. It's not like he's been put in position where he's had chances. He just couldn't finish. And it turns out he scored an important goal in this game because
I mean, at the time, I was just going to mention that they were down at the time.
Yeah.
They were behind 13
so this is
minutes.
an important
in
goal
on
that he
PK.
scores.
So it is, and like you said, I wonder what that little tap in will do for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope it's nothing because fuck Liverpool, but
But he did not be biased. I mean, I don't think it changes. Like, I don't think Firmino's
going
going
to not be biased.
I don't think Firmino's go out and score 3 next week, but I think next time he gets a chance, maybe, by the PK area, a little bit more of a confident finish.
Yeah, maybe he takes a shot on instead of trying to do that extra pass.
Like where do we get like no look finish Firmino back? Like where has he been? Like
He's been long gone.
He's been long gone.
That dude was filthy.
But other than that, Jota also scores in this game.
Good signing.
Game winner.
Yeah, game winner. Good ball in from Mane. Nice little header in from Jota. And yeah, he was a good player at Wolves too. So like, I'm not surprised he's doing well here so far. But like, he's coming off the bench and he's making an impact so far. He scored twice off the bench in the Premier League, and I think in their like European competitions, he's also been scoring. So
he's a chance creator. Like he makes things happen.
Yeah.
He causes.
He's got spark off the bench.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
a good way to put it. 100%.
Yeah, because I think even at Wolves he came off the bench a lot too. I know he had a long stretch of starting too, but I think maybe in the beginning of last season or sometime in the middle he came off the bench for a while.
But he already looks like he's fitting with the team more than Shaqiri ever did.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Shaqiri was an incredible player who went to Liverpool and then just
he scores bangers though.
He does score bangers, but like just kind of faded away. Like he would play once in a while. He wouldn't start much. I mean, he'll come off the bench more than I think Shaqiri did. He won't have that chance to start as much, I don't think, until they get into like competitions where they got to rest players. But it seems like when he comes in, he fits right in. I mean,
yeah. Who do you think Liverpool's most important player is?
I think give it 8 weeks and we'll find out if it's Van Dijk or not.
Yeah.
I think that's the answer.
You gotta wait and see.
But you got to think he was also there for the. I mean, you can't just look at one game from the Aston Villa game because he was there for that. But all year last year he was there and they had the best defensive record in the league.
Well, then again, so is Trent and Robertson.
Robertson.
Exactly, and they create chances as well. So there's like an argument. Like you could say the outside backs, you could say Mane, you could say Salah, you could say.
I wouldn't say every player.
I said almost every player.
You could say Henderson just from being a leadership standpoint. Like, even though he's not the most talented, he's definitely not. He like works his ass off, and
he's the hustle guy.
He's the hustle guy,
leader,
and he's a good leader. So,
but I think if their defense holds up within the next 8 or 9 weeks, the argument's gonna be either Salah or Mane, maybe the outside backs. I don't think I love outside backs, but like, are you gonna say they're the most important player? No, they're a very important piece of how Liverpool plays because that's how they play. They push up from their wing backs, but I don't think you're gonna get someone to say that that's their most important player.
You would say Alisson too. He's been a stud too since coming to Liverpool.
Well, all Liverpool's backup goalies when they seem to come in
exactly
play terrible.
That's what I'm saying.
But like, is that Liverpool's lack of being able to find like goalies with talent, or is it Alisson's just that good? He just like
makes everyone look like
make everyone look bad. Like
I don't know.
Because their backups have been awful when they've had to play.
One of the last things I want to say about this game, and it's about Sheffield. We talked last year about defensively they were pretty solid. This year, struggling.
I think we say this every single week. Every time they lose.
I'm saying like,
I mean struggling. I mean
week.
Liverpool scored twice.
Well, no, what I was going to say.
Good team.
Is this? I mean, you have to. If you're Sheffield, you kind of got find like a win in this, only letting up 2 to Liverpool.
I don't think they're trying to win.
But I mean, and one of them was just, kind of just a lapse in judgment on that mismarking on that tap-in.
Well, it's a misjudgment, but someone also had Mane allowed him to get that header off.
I'm saying, with how Sheffield's defense has been this year, I think this is an improvement for them. Only letting in 2 to one of, to a team who can easily put past, 7 past them if they really wanted to. So
True.
I do feel like it's an improvement for them. I still think they're getting relegated, no doubt. But
we can't have everyone getting relegated. We already have Fulham and West Brom. I guess we got to find that third eventually. But
it's Burnley. I hate Burnley too. There's the 3 that are down there right now. They're gone.
All right, so Sheffield stays. Next,
big game from the weekend.
It was a good game actually.
Huge. Southampton 2, Everton 0. I think I called this.
Another undefeated team falls.
And
no one's undefeated, by the way.
We made a pact in last week's episode saying you cannot mention a certain someone's name in this game if he did not score or get an assist. So we're holding up to that, right, boys?
I jumped on the train too. So
you can say choo choo. That's good.
I can't say anything about it.
Sorry, I'm gonna freak out about the Digne call in a minute, but it's fine.
Yeah. Let's wait on that.
I set up in a minute.
I know.
I'm just gonna gather my thoughts while we get there. Hold on.
I know Dan, you're a big Danny Ings guy. No goals, 2 assists though.
2 assists. He's always known for that goal, his goal scoring and his finishing, but
he just loves an assist. He may finish the year at most assists.
I think so. He's pushing.
I don't know, dude.
He's up there with Kane.
He's got to go against Kane.
Well, he's up there with Kane and
But not for
Some
nothing.
other guy.
These goals that Southampton scored, Everton's defense just left
Terrible.
gaping
It
holes.
was terrible.
Gaping holes
It
in their
was so
backs.
bad, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the first goal that James Ward-Prowse scored
Great
was
finish.
really nice. It was good give and go, and they kind of opened them up. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that you can't really blame them. They probably could have done better marking, but
Right.
basically opened them up and just a really nice finish. And the second one, it was just like a cross in, and the defender just didn't get a head on it.
Yeah.
And Che Adams just composed in the box. Good finish.
Che Adams looked good this game. He created a lot. He did.
Yeah. I think him and Inks together are actually a really good partnership.
Maybe not the best duo ever, but
They might be up there.
Up there.
maybe top 3.
Based
I don't
off our parameters right now, they may be up
Yeah.
there. So Garrett, you want to freak out?
Oh, what for the red
Yeah,
card?
you said you were getting.
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
Explain it for people.
listen,
Explain it for people. at home.
this is like where like common sense needs to come into the idea of refereeing, right? Like it's one thing if a player goes into a dangerous tackle, steps on a guy's ankle, purposely just tries to really injure him. Digne is running behind the player with the ball, with his hands up in the air because it was Walker Peters, cuts in front of him. Like he's moving in front of him. So as a defender, you're trying to hold off. So you're saying you're not fouling the person. And he goes to step at the same time that the back foot of Peters is there, just naturally running, and catches it and slides about 4 yards because of how their feet got tangled and got locked. There's no way that an accidental thing like that should be a red card. It's just not.
Yellow card, maybe.
Yellow, 100%. You could call it a yellow card. I
behind,
think
yeah,
that's fine.
I mean, I don't know. If an accidental play is bad enough to where it's like could really injure a player, then yes, it could be a red card. But to this instance where the player's running in front of him and he steps on, the only thing could be like it was high up on his leg. It was like pretty high, like Achilles area. So I mean, the player could get injured. I can see it definitely being a yellow card, but to your point, the red card is really harsh. And I know like Walker Peters was trying to get in front of him to box him and
Right, like when
I'm
you're
just
playing
saying,
with
what is the defender supposed to do?
Right, like he's
you're
just
both
running.
at full speed,
Yeah.
and you're going, you're trying to get around him, and then he cuts across you. You have 0.2 seconds to stop on a dime and not touch him.
And the idea there,
That's ridiculous.
As an attacking player,
You know-
Peters is doing what he's supposed to do. You cut in front of the defender so they can't
Yeah.
put a challenge in, and that's right.
And
But you can't expect
he is also doing what
Digne
he's
to
supposed
know.
He's putting his hands up. He's trying to hold up.
Right, like you can't expect him to know he's going to cut in
Yeah.
front of him and stop moving his feet in a natural. It wasn't like he took a longer step, a shorter step. Like it was just a natural run, and it caught at the worst possible time. And shout out to Digne because I think it was Gary Lineker put out a tweet and was like, "There's no way that's a red card. It's completely accidental." In game, in the locker room, Digne retweets the tweet like during the game.
That's a fucking power
during the
move.
game. That's so funny.
That's a goddamn power move.
But I mean, originally, obviously, a red card, straight red, is a 3-match ban. It got reviewed after the game,
reduced
and
it.
they reduced it down to 1 game, which is good.
because they know they
But
fucked up.
they did, yeah. So at least he got some kind of justice there, even though it's still harsh for him to go out of the game. And at that time, they are still down 2-0, right?
Yeah,
in the game?
it's towards the end. I'm pretty sure.
We'll
Just
check.
check.
They're
for me.
definitely down. I'm pretty sure after that.
Yes,
They're already down.
the second goal went in the 35th minute.
Yeah.
The red card was 70.
There was no goals.
Yeah.
For this one.
Okay, so it's not like that changed the entire
Didn't
outcome of
change
the
that.
game.
I mean, it obviously limits Everton going forward and attempting to get
Right, because Dean
back
is
into
a
it.
big part of their
Yeah,
attack.
and it's always tough when you have a man down too. So it does impact the game, but not terribly, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's
It-
2 games in a row where Everton have
Red
dropped
cards.
points. Yeah,
And
and
red
red
carded.
cards. Yeah. Who was the last one that got red?
Charleston got a red,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and Pickford should have got a red,
Yeah.
depending on how the rules go.
Pickford broke someone's leg in half, but
Okay, we'll revisit that because we found out why it didn't get reviewed. We actually looked it up. Actually, we haven't really talked about it next. It says Pickford bodyguard, so I'm assuming we're talking about it. So
I was just staring at that like, is he gonna his thing?
So news article came out today that Pickford had to hire bodyguards for himself, his wife, and his
Family, yeah.
his child. His one child, I think, because he was receiving death threats and like physical threats from Liverpool fans for hurting Van Dijk.
Another reason why Liverpool just fucking sucks.
Listen, people, you guys are stupid. Anyone who sends a death threat to someone over a game, you're
It's
stupid.
so dumb.
Like,
it's
get
a bad challenge.
Get
but,
over
like,
yourselves.
It's a game. It's soccer. I mean,
It wasn't like he went after him it was in the
Heat of the moment.
not in heat of the moment. Like he didn't try to injure him. It was a bad
Playing his
challenge while the game was going on. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It was in actual play. Like Ball was in play. He was just making a challenge. Look, is it horrible that he hurt his knee? Yes, and it's terrible. Van Dijk's a great player. He's had a great 2 years, and it sucks that he's going to be out. I'm sure Liverpool fans, you're mad. Listen, get over it. I'm sure Van Dijk's more mad. He's probably not threatening Pickford's family.
So do you want to explain why we're on it?
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So we
You
looked
looked
at
it up. You tried to explain it to me. I'm still kind of fuzzy on it. It doesn't make sense to me.
So in the rules of VAR, I guess they thought this situation would come up eventually.
It's still stupid.
So there's two types of hard fouls. There's serious foul play, and then there's violent conduct. So serious foul play is like when something happens, as per the Van Dijk Pickford challenge, that happens in an actual game scenario. Like it's part of the game, and the challenge comes in. Violent conduct is if you just go out of your way to like punch someone in the head. Okay, so we follow us on TikTok at Lee Pints. We put up our conversation about this, and someone commented then and said, "If I know someone's offsides, why don't I just punch them in the head?" Well, you can't do that. That's not part of the rules. Serious foul play can't be reviewed on an offsides. If the play was offsides, you can't go back and review the challenge. It doesn't count. The play never happened. However, if you go to punch someone in the head, which has nothing to do with the actual game of soccer,
conduct.
That's violent conduct. It can be reviewed, and you can be thrown out regardless of if the play was offsides or anything of that nature. So that's the answer. Whether it's a good answer, that's just the rules.
It's still fuzzy, but I understand it more than I did.
Right, because you can't, like, that was the people, like, oh, I just punch him in the head. No, you can't punch him in the head. That's not how it works.
That on our TikTok.
I don't know.
Who done it?
I don't know.
I'm not going to look at it. It's going to start playing when I'm in the app, but...
He was a Liverpool fan, you could tell.
Oh, okay.
Very shit, a Liverpool logo is his thing.
Hey, I would say something mean to you, but you commented, so thank you.
Look, Liverpool, we get it. Like, you're pissed. Your best defender got hurt. Like, we understand. It sucks. Like, no one would be happy.
Yeah.
But you don't threaten a guy's family.
And that's not all Liverpool fans either. It's just obviously
it's a
some
select
psycho
few.
people.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of I'm sure
99%
I'm sure
of
United fans would do it if they had Van Dijk. Arsenal fans would do it.
If it was Maguire, I don't.
Yeah, I'm saying if they had Van
If it was
Dijk.
Maguire and Pickford did this, I'm writing thank you notes.
You're sending
I'm sending flowers, edible arrangements, all that shit.
Edible
There you go.
arrangements. I got you a bouquet of chocolate strawberries. Nice challenge.
That poor guy. Maguire's just gonna get shit on all year.
Moving on now.
Deserves it. Okay, yeah, moving on.
Wolves and Newcastle. 1-1. Just
Fun last 15, a boring first 80.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean the Wolves obviously the Wolves. Wolves look Wolves look the more dominant of the teams. Like
100%. Yeah.
what?
How are we saying it like that? The Wolves.
The
It's from a
Bears.
skit. Yeah, it's from the Bears.
The Bears. Yeah.
SNL skit.
I've seen that one.
All right, can I continue talking again? Or are you gonna sidebar about SNL skits again?
I don't know which one. Yeah,
I'm going to sit back here and let Dan talk.
So I thought Wolves looked like the better team for most of the game. They had most of the possession, most of the chances going forward. It took, like Garrett said, 80 minutes for the first goal to come, and it's Jimenez with another screamer. He's such an important piece to that team.
Yeah, he is.
Dismissals here.
I can say whatever I want. But screamer, absolute screamer.
Dismissal.
He's I think he's just so much for that team, and like with Traore, not really. Like I don't know what's going on with him.
He doesn't start.
He's not starting.
All right, can we read the message in our group chat? Hold on. So we have a group chat where we play fantasy soccer with a group of friends. And, of course, one friend has Traore on his team. And the starting lineups come out. Traore once again
And hold, just to set the scene, he's he was picked in the draft like pretty high up.
Second or third round, I think.
Second or third round, probably 15th, between 15 and 20, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, like, if you take someone that high, you expect them to play and like get returns every week. But
Right.
Go ahead.
Did we have the message?
I'm looking for it.
That's probably pretty far back.
45 minutes later. He's not even in the conversation. Okay.
Yeah, I'm typing it in on the search conversation bar, so it comes up somewhere.
Just type in the word wife.
I found it right here. Oh, that's Abraham. So let me get Abraham. He's not even starting. Kind of useless. Fuck.
Did you type in wife yet?
What do you think I'm doing right now?
All right, so
4 hours later.
anything.
There we go, Bri.
Did Adama fuck the coach's wife or something? Dude hasn't started in 3 games.
There it
Who
is.
said that? I don't have that number saved.
I'm not even sure. So
I
yeah,
know where that was. In our group chat.
by Traore, who last year like broke on the scene, was a force for Wolves. Like other teams feared when he was on the field. It hasn't started in 3 games.
I mean, he's playing for like Spain now too during international duty, and
Yeah.
now he's not.
And it's not even
It
like
could be I don't know.
It's not even like Wolves has had an incredible season so far. Like they haven't looked incredible. They've had okay results against okay teams.
Yeah.
Like this game, again, okay result against a not great Newcastle team. But how does he not start? Like how do you fall that bad out of favor in a month?
I feel like it can't be like an out of favor thing. It's got to be something else going on, like either tactical or something. Because last year he did come off the bench a lot too, and then it wasn't towards the end of the season where he started to get starts and everything. But like, I think they used him as an energy off the bench, whereas like he'll get subbed in early in the second half. He'll give you 30, 40 minutes strong, where he'll just literally bomb up and down the sidelines,
Covered in baby oil.
So no one can grab onto him, which is hilarious, by the way.
Gotta add that in there every time.
So I wonder if that's kind of what he's doing, because he's still getting subbed in at halftime.
Oh, he
Maybe he's just
plays.
not having the impact he did last year right now.
Right. Did teams figure him out, or is he just not,
I mean, he's still sending in balls, and he's still doing that. But, I mean, I don't know. Jimenez, I feel like, isn't really that. I mean, he'll score headers and stuff, but he's not like the point forward that like a Calvert-Lewin or something, where he expect those balls in the air, and he's going to try to get ahead on everything. But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Newcastle goal.
Sick.
Murphy's goal, that free
Yeah,
kick.
it's really nice.
He kept that like
inch perfect.
He kept that knee height, bent it on the outside around the wall. I mean, I do think the keeper could have did better. He kind of half dove. He kind of got a hand on it, but I don't think he was ready for it. I don't think he saw it.
I was going to say, what kind of keeper expects the ball to come in on that angle and like literally sneak in near post like that?
I saw it coming.
He snuck that in by centimeters.
I feel like it's easy to say just watching, like, oh, he should have saved that, or like I could have saved that. But like in the thing, I'd be like, oh, nope, literally no chance. Because there's so much pace on the ball, too.
Right. I mean, I obviously could have saved it, but I mean, that's no big deal.
Moving on after that note. Dan? Leicester, Arsenal.
Oh, man, they suck.
Yike City.
It's like last season all over.
Talking about teams that need creative players.
Oh, we're crying for creative players.
You have one.
No, he's not on the team. He's not on the squad list. You can't use him.
Should they have?
Mark?
Yeah. I really want to know. There's obviously something that went on like behind the scenes that we don't know about. But it's hard for me to believe that Ozil's not one of the top 25 players at Arsenal.
Especially watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's bad.
But I mean, they had their chances. The first half, they were the more dominant team. They were actually bringing it towards Leicester a lot. They had a couple shots. They were free flowing and everything. And then the second half came, like they weren't able to finish. They actually had one called back, which is another kind of controversial call. Like I understand it, but like it could go either way. It was early on, like third or fourth minute or something. Lacazette gets a header off a corner or something, or just a cross in, and Xhaka is basically on the goal line. He's not offsides, but he's kind of in the way of the goalie. Not really in the way. He's on the side trying to dodge the ball so it doesn't hit him so it gets offsides. But they reviewed it, called it back because he was in Schmeichel's line of sight and was interfering with the play. So he wasn't offsides, but
wait a second. If you're not offsides,
I'm pretty sure you can
you're
stand
in the line of sight. That's legal.
It's obstructing the goalie, and it got called back. So don't.
I was watching football. Sorry. Did he come in any contact? Did he impede him from diving?
He didn't touch the ball.
He didn't touch the goalie.
He didn't touch the goalie either.
He was just standing there?
He was standing trying to get out of the way of the goalie.
I think I need to pull this
You need
up.
to watch the video. Pull it up. I was pissed it got called back, but apparently it was not enough. The thing was, they called the offsides or the obstruction before it went to VAR. So I guess there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. It had to be clear and obvious. So they can't say, oh, he didn't obstruct him.
I don't know. I need to see this.
We're working on it. Hang on a second.
I'm telling you, that's what it said. That's what they said in the things. Bear with us for a second.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's on NBC's working.
But in the meantime, this is third, fourth minute, so that goes in. That
changes
changes the entire landscape of the game. So watch it. What?
I can't believe it. I didn't see it. I'm surprised you didn't freak out more.
I was freaking out.
Here.
Okay.
So where the hell is
Dan, keep talking.
Okay, well, you're watching the whole highlights from the game, so.
We said third minute, though, right?
Yeah.
It's literally right here. All right. What?
I don't get it.
Wait.
So the thing was,
so
the ref
confused.
called it up right away, so they went to VAR, and it's not enough.
Well, he has the flag up for offside.
For offsides, right.
Wait, no.
I'm sorry, I'm watching it now, so
very
I'm
confused.
trying to still talk, but
Ladies
I'm
and gentlemen,
trying to look
we
as
are-
well.
Our bad, guys. Hold on.
All right, one more second.
But he's offsides. He's 100%
He's clearly
offsides.
offsides.
Yeah,
He's offsides, but he doesn't make contact with the ball.
Right, but
Doesn't
it doesn't matter. If you're offsides and obstructing the
impeding
goalie,
play
that's a
at
problem.
all when you're offsides, called back.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's offsides.
They didn't call offsides though. Is the
No, but so like what we're saying is
if you're affecting the play,
it's obstruction to the goalie because he's
offsides.
If he's onside and standing there, it's
Yeah.
not an issue.
Okay, so now it's fine.
no, it's still not fine.
Dan's still pissed about it,
Perfectly
but
fine.
it's 100%
That's
offside.
completely the right call.
Yeah.
It's not.
It is. That was the right call.
It's not.
It is the right
Uh,
call. It's 100% the right
I
call.
was thinking we're gonna have this whole big ordeal. Nope.
So
The goal.
what?
We get to the goal.
Well, yeah,
a nice goal.
Vardy doesn't start the game. He's just coming back from injury, and
It's like they knew.
the fact that Arsenal doesn't score in the first half really screws them because I knew as soon as he comes on, he's scoring. He literally scores every time he plays.
He just
against
has like
Arsenal.
a hunger to play against them. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but I
Quick
mean,
counter.
the thing was, I think Luis got hurt in this. It was either in this game or the last game. But Mustafi's playing. He gets subbed in,
LOL.
and his positioning on the goal is absolutely atrocious. He's
Incredible.
so out of like position, and literally someone plays the ball into Under, ball across, and then Vardy just finishes off. So I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. The whole game, they dominate the first half.
Good header.
It was a great finish, and I was just like, I'm not even surprised. Like, I can't be mad because they literally didn't do their job.
Yeah, Arsenal came into this game, so knowing that. Or I'm sorry, Leicester came into this game knowing Arsenal was going to hold the ball, and they just let them do what they want.
Well, Leicester's been playing that way for 4
Yeah,
years.
he didn't score. You hit him on one counter, and of course they knew to bring in Vardy because he seems to be the Arsenal killer. And there you go.
Yeah.
And fun fact: there was 8 yellow cards in this game. I was looking at this. It just looked like a lot of yellows.
Jeez, a lot of
yeah.
yellows.
Yellows. So these teams really don't like each other that much.
So,
huh?
like, can Aubameyang do something this year, or are we just going to
Is
sit
he
and watch
gonna
him do
something
nothing?
this year?
He got his new contract. He's good. He's chilling. He's pulling a
Oh,
nozzle,
so
apparently.
Sounds familiar. I was going to say, sounds
So
familiar.
he gets the new contract. Oh, I got my money. I don't have to try anymore.
No, I think it's just I mean, no one's feeding him. He
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
have
I was gonna
anything to run onto. Or
You know who could feed him?
Ozil.
The guy who'd make the top 25.
The guy who's paying your dinosaur salary.
Yeah.
Didn't he also just donate like $1 million to like
Yep.
something in London for like kids or they can't
He
eat
was
or
like
something?
Rashford's thing, too. Like, he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
donating meals
Rashford got
to.
his something. He's an official like member of like the British Empire now.
Empire.
I swear to God, that's what it is.
I don't think the British Empire is a thing.
I'll tell you right now what it is.
So either Ozil is the nicest guy in all of London,
I think he's a really
next to
good guy.
Rashford, or just really knows how to make Arsenal look like a bunch of assholes, or both.
I think he's a good guy. Like, he does a lot for charity, too. But,
Manchester United and England striker receives MBE, member of the British Empire.
wow, I was wrong. Good for you.
The
Yeah,
Empire,
something right, boys.
the Empire strikes back.
I did
All
not
right.
know the
For
British
all
Empire
meals
was a
that he
thing.
donated 1.3 million.
Sorry to our Brit friends out there.
I think we have more viewers in Sweden than we
I
do in
think we have a
Britain.
lot of.
So,
Shout out Sweden.
Shout out to our Sweden friends.
Wait, I have a lot
Shout out to everyone who listens to this.
yeah, really, that's a good point.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
All right, so
Anything else on this game?
no, I'm good.
Dan's like, no, I'm out of it.
So Brighton West Brom.
Screw this. West Brom sucks.
It happened.
Brighton sucks too.
The own goal was funny.
It was really unfortunate.
It cleared
Really
off the line
unfortunate.
right into the dude's face. And it
Oh
was
yeah,
away.
that was terrible.
Yeah. Although Brighton did good to like they sent a couple balls in and it looked like there should have been a goal there. However, West
the one
Brom
you'd
tried to
expect.
clear the ball out.
That goal was
Off his
so
own
goddamn
teammate.
Funny.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna be honest. None of us watched this game except the highlights.
I saw the own goal. That was it.
Like guys, we love soccer, but this game was a little painful to watch.
So Tottenham won.
West Brom's gonna get relegated. Brighton probably not.
Burnley's gonna get relegated.
Burnley's gonna get relegated, and Fulham's gonna get relegated.
Sheffield's gonna hang in
So
there.
we'll try to watch those games if they play good teams. But if it's
Speaking of
those two
Burnley-
teaming each other, we're not watching.
Speaking of Burnley, they lost Tottenham 1-0.
Just kidding. We love you, West Brom fans.
No, we don't. West Brom fans? Yeah. Burnley fans, no.
No, West Brom
I hate
fans.
Burnley.
Right.
I don't know why. Hatred for them.
So this is the greatest duo in all of soccer.
Just like in the history of soccer.
All soccer? Or are you saying Premier League?
Let's talk about it.
If you're saying all soccer, you're just wrong.
Let's talk about it.
We're not there yet.
Let's talk. Wait.
We're not. We're not at
Yes,
that.
we are.
Let's talk about the game,
All right.
and then we could get into your
we'll talk about the
little
two-
fantasy conversation.
Shocker.
The
you
two
were-
greatest players of all time
Soccer,
playing a game.
Son scored again. So
And got
greatest of all
assisted
time.
by.
Harry Kane.
By the way, did you guys see that video?
What was
That video, that one video. Yeah, that video.
of the
It
goal.
was of the goal. I thought it was kind of like clear and obvious. No, you guys didn't see the video. It's really cool. So they show
When they point at him and he says like, "You assist that." And he's like, "Yeah."
yeah. So they slow mo after the goal of Son's
I see that.
celebration, and Kane. You can't see Kane, but he's like out of frame, and you could see like Son is like mouthing the words. He's like, "Did you get that assist?" And he's like, "Yeah," and he like freaks out. Like the two of them are having like the time of their lives
they're
right
bad.
now together.
They're the best of friends. I'm just looking at the stats now.
the best duo of all
Combined
time.
13 goals and 10 assists in 6 games.
It's insane. It's like unreal.
Wait a second.
Son has 8 goals. Kane has 8 assists.
Yeah.
And then the opposite in, what is it, 5 each?
5 and 4. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. I don't know. Greatest duo.
Oh, ever? What? Said that.
No.
Listen, I'm not saying the greatest duo of all time.
They're a great duo
Let's
right
be
now.
realistic.
They're
But-
easily and by far the best duo
In this
in
moment-
any league this year.
Right, that's my point. And right
I
now in
agree.
world soccer, they're the best duo
Yes.
playing.
Yes.
Okay,
Together.
that's different than what we have in our notes that says all time. They are not the best all time.
But like, hear me out.
No, I'm not going to hear you out for these two being the best of all time.
Okay, but I'm not saying
If we're
like.
gonna just, I have to read a
What have they won?
Listen. I'm not saying they're the best duo of all time. I'm just saying
That's
they're-
what you said in here in our notes.
No. Read it. Read it.
In the running for the best duo of all time.
Right. So hear me out.
In
So
the
now,
running.
say Tottenham this season wins the league off of
no.
these two having this type of season.
Okay.
Are they in the argument?
No.
I think you're wrong.
Of all time.
It depends on what else they do. One season. It depends. What do they end with? Are you saying they keep this up where they end with
They each have
40
like
goals and like...
I mean, let's say they each have 20 something of one of the other and like 15 of the other.
So they're gonna have a combined what? 70,
I mean, it's possible they're already at
70 points, I guess, if you use hockey terms. You know,
all right.
if they keep this
You
up,
can't
and
tell
then-
me it's not an argument.
If they keep this up and they win the league, I don't. It's tough.
But you can say the same thing about Lewandowski and like Muller last year, who combined for an insane amount of goals and assists,
They're the
and
best
no
duo
one
of all
says
time?
they're the best duo of all time. And they won the Champions League, and they won the Bundesliga, and
I'll
they
take
won.
the argument. I'll argue for him right now.
I wouldn't.
Lewandowski, he is fucking unbelievable.
You know,
First
Garrett,
of all,
I give it another 5 weeks, 6 weeks for me.
Oh yeah, well, be bold about it.
No, because I'm not gonna like. Oh, they're the best duo right
All right,
now in world
how
soccer.
about-
Yes.
all right,
Of
how
all
about-
time? No.
How about best duo in recent Premier League memory? Who else do we have? We have Drogba and Lampard. We have Sturridge, Suarez.
how far back are we going?
Like when we were alive would be good.
Henri Bergkamp,
Henri Bergkamp was a good one.
Beckham, Rooney?
Rooney,
I'm sorry,
Rooney,
Ronaldo, Rooney.
Rooney,
I was gonna say
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo Tevez, but yeah. you could do-
Ronaldo Tevez is pretty filthy too.
The thing is, hard to do it without like stats and like what they've won and
Right,
everything.
I'm just
'cause
saying
I
ones
think-
you think of. Like,
Yeah.
It comes first to mind. But I mean, if they win, I think they're right up there.
But you have to see if they keep up a rate similar to this.
Even I mean, it doesn't have to be similar. I mean, if this is the rate they keep up, they're gonna have 60 goals and 45 assists.
yeah.
I mean, then I
I
don't
know,
give they're the
but-
best team of all time. I don't care.
I don't know.
I think Son has been a very underrated
100%,
player for a
100%.
while.
I don't know how more
He's
people
gone-
still aren't talking about this dude.
He's gone under the radar
How
for a
are
long
people
time,
still
and
not talking
he's
about this
just an insane player.
And
Like
the thing
he's
is, too,
what's
when
the-
he's out there, it always looks like he's just having fun.
Do you
And it
remember the
looks like
goal?
He just,
Oh, God.
he just loves playing.
Was it last year where he literally ran like 75% of the field?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like took on the whole team and scored. Like
Yeah.
that's insane. Any other player that does that it is everywhere.
yeah.
Son did it and it was like, hey guys, great goal.
Messi
Out.
does that. You're seeing that every day for about 5 months straight.
Oh yeah.
And he's insanely fast.
Super
and he just runs forever.
See, I think a big key point of this is that they both are staying healthy. Like Kane's had some injury problems, Son had some injury problems.
Yeah.
If they can both stay healthy and be on the field together, I think they can put up some crazy stats. And the thing is, like, they want to be together. Like, it's
Yeah.
not forced. Like, you could tell they know how each other play and they want to be there.
And it's not like they haven't been teammates. Like it's not like it's their first season together either. They've been teammates for the last couple seasons.
Right.
So they're familiar with each other. But to your point, Kane's been hurt every now and then. Son went to military duty last season.
Yeah.
So like now they're playing together. They're both healthy and they're clicking, and it's
It's fun
really
to
good
watch.
for
It's fun to
Spurs.
watch.
Listen, if you would have told me 6 weeks in that Harry Kane was going to lead the league in assists, I would have thought you were freaking nuts.
So now,
And that Son was going to have like 8.
looking at the team as a whole, can Spurs push for the title this year?
I think
Let's transition this into the next segment. Let's look at the challengers after 6 weeks. Who are the challengers for the title? We'll start with Spurs.
Okay.
Can they challenge?
I think they can challenge.
Spurs are definitely, I think, a challenger.
I 100% think they can challenge now.
Yeah,
just
I-
because of
So, yeah.
we thought Liverpool and City were going to be, the
And they're
obvious
not.
top two. And after the first 6 weeks,
I mean,
There is
Liverpool-
no obvious top
Yeah.
at this point.
I mean, Liverpool's still tied for first. Well, behind on goal differential, but
but Brian, you were saying, is the rest of their team strong enough to sustain this
that's
kind of
what
form?
I don't
And
know.
I mean,
fight.
I feel like they've been rocking the same team forever. Like I feel like their lineup doesn't ever change.
Now, do you
Like,
think it's
It does a
because-
little bit, actually.
well, their midfield, their defense though hasn't changed much. It's
Could it be
well, what's
because
his
they have
name's not there anymore?
some time under Mourinho and he's getting them all to click? Could be it.
I mean, you could think so, but you got to remember they literally just blew a 3-0 lead last week, so it ain't clicking that well.
And they lost to
They just oh my god, they just lost to I don't even know. The team didn't have a logo.
Some weird name.
we're
Crest, whatever you want to call
Antwerp?
Yeah, it's like RV
yeah,
Antwerp.
Royal Antwerp.
Royal Antwerp.
I mean, granted, they didn't play like all of their players in the first half and subbed them 4 subs in second half.
Fun fact.
They're still
Royal
playing like
Antwerp
Dele
was found-
Alli and
Yeah,
everyone.
well, Dele Alli's a waste of
Antwerp
space,
was
man.
founded in
Man, he's-
1880.
Dele Alli's never going to see the field for Tottenham ever again, I'm pretty sure at this point.
It's like a whole Ozil situation, except he sucks, so he's not seeing the field.
And Alli's not getting paid 350K.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, as of right now they are. I think they could challenge for that.
I think they could challenge. I really think like you could almost give me like we can go down the list. Let's go down the list. I'm not gonna say anything.
All right, next we have is City.
Can they challenge? Of course they can challenge.
Yes, they
It's
can
City.
challenge. Do you think?
Do I think they look
can?
great?
I don't see United on that fucking list.
But
Do you think that-
these
do
are
you
people
think
that
they're
are going
gonna
to
challenge?
contend.
Yeah.
Do you think they
Do
get
you see
challenged?
Arsenal on the list? I'm trying to be like,
Do I think United get challenged? I think the challenge to stay out of relegation. Yeah, that's what they fucking do. But then again, sidebar,
Sorry, hit the microphone.
crushing Champions League right now.
They are. They're looking good.
United.
They just beat
2-1 PSG and then
Yeah, they
Red Bull
Atletico?
Leipzig
Oh,
5-0.
Leipzig, yeah.
Rashford hat trick in 20 minutes. Just saying.
It's just crazy how teams can look so different from
Yeah,
league
it's
to
so
England,
weird, man.
like Tottenham, for example.
Yeah. But all right,
From
so
what?
From like one like Premier League to Europe. Like in 4 days they played these
Oh,
two
yeah.
games and look completely
All
different.
right, so here we go. Back on track. City. We're on City.
City, I mean they can. Yeah, their defense hopefully
Step it up.
yeah, I mean hopefully they're I keep saying Neves and it's Diaz and I'm going to keep saying it wrong every single time.
Ruben Diaz.
Hopefully Diaz settles in a little bit. I mean he's only played 2 or 3 games. He's a center back. It takes time to create that chemistry with the defense.
I think he's looked pretty good though since he's
Right,
been
and
playing.
the problem is that they fling through outside backs, so there's no time to create any type of cohesive
Bond.
game. Like
yeah, I
like-
know what you're saying, but what's his name? Cancelo.
Cancelo.
He's been playing the last couple of games. I think he's like pretty good. I think he has an assist.
I think he's
getting
sucks.
up. Really?
Yeah, he's okay.
He's good going forward. At least
That's
I
the
should
problem.
say.
He can't defend. None of our defenders can actually defend.
They gotta, yeah.
Well, they're called defenders, so that's probably not fucking good.
Tell me about
They're
it.
wing backs, and then they're just more of the wing than not the back.
Pretty much 2 center backs.
Yeah, but none of our defenders can defend.
Dude, you have Kyle Walker. He does so fucking good.
Kyle Walker, if he wasn't fast, would be playing in the MLS. I just spilled the beer. I'm sorry.
I think I could see that.
All right, so City obviously can challenge. Obviously, the inconsistencies with their lineup, injuries, things like that may play a part. And if they can, truly challenge, but definitely they're up there.
Right.
Always in the discussion. Chelsea, I think their defense is starting to look a little bit better. Beginning of the season did not look great.
No.
Obviously, Kepa was still in goal, and I think
Mendy's a huge fucking help.
Mendy alone is making a huge difference.
Yeah.
I think they'll challenge top 4. I don't think they'll challenge for a title. I think if they keep this up and you give them this whole season, I think next year they will be at least top 3. I think next year they will be a huge challenger for the title.
Is Lampard there next year though? If they don't challenge for a title,
Depends on where they finish.
I think that's a big.
If they can get top 4,
like
Lampard
how short
stays.
of a leash should we give them?
What year is this from?
2 or 3? What's this?
Lampard?
2?
2, and I think he came.
He came over half.
It was 2 because his first season they had the transfer ban.
Right,
and
they
he
couldn't sign
played
anyone.
Mount and everyone.
So I mean, I say you give him no matter what. I think you give him at least. To start
I mean, I think
next season.
because of who he is, he's going to
Yes.
get a longer leash than most managers would.
Yeah, and they said he had the transfer ban. He couldn't do what he wanted right away. I think you give him at least a start next season, no matter what happens this year. But I think if they keep going on the path they're on,
I don't think they challenge this year though.
no, I think they challenge top
right.
4 this year. I think next year they could be a title challenger.
We missed Liverpool on this list too. We jumped
No,
over
it's
that.
just- I thought that was a
They're-
given.
They are challenging.
They're
given.
going to
But
challenge.
that was
They're going
challenge.
to challenge
That was
every
a
year
given.
until.
But is the thing like with the injury to Van Dijk?
Right, that's one of those where we'll have to see who slots in that position for them and how well they
Yeah,
play.
and if not, can we win games?
6-4.
Yeah, like 4-3, like 5-4, like.
I mean, a lot of teams without their starting center back are not the same team, and Van Dijk's a giant portion of
I mean,
that
like
defense.
again,
So-
like
What if
I-
you don't
I
have a
hate
center back to start with?
Well, that's I hate to keep
Arsenal.
bringing up United, but they're a different team without their starting center backs. They're better.
yeah.
Everton. Now, challenge.
Look, we're not taking them off the list for one bad game. Okay, we're not doing it.
No. I'm saying in the long run, I don't see them, again, challenging for a title, but top 4, yes.
I think they're a challenge for a title. Give me it all day, baby.
I don't think they are.
Listen, they had a bad...
I would like them to.
They had a bad week.
That'd be cool if they did. I would like that.
But again, they didn't have Richarlison. He was red carded. And they had chances. I'm just saying I think they could.
Huh?
Listen.
Who do they have next week? Because Dine's out. They don't want to lose back-to-back games. They have Richarlison's out.
They're away.
Newcastle.
They're away at Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Richarlison and Digne are
Doable.
both going to be out. So I mean,
It's a doable one.
We'll see. And then next on the list we have Leicester. They're always up there. They were up there last season. Had a bad.
Isn't it nuts how not too long ago
they were no one.
they were no? I mean, we were. Oh, they're always up there, and they're like, who the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Like
And it was tough. Like the year after they won the title,
they lost everybody.
they lost
Oh, yeah,
everyone,
their whole
and they
team was
ended
gone.
up finishing like 10th or 9th or somewhere middle of the pack. And then after that, they've started to rebuild. They've started to invest in players,
They're doing the right things over there.
and they've been finishing top 6. I feel like the last 3 years or 2 years.
It's like crazy. Like they're one of those teams where like I want to look in like 20 years. Like where are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be other teams that have this like they have their rise, they get there, but there's only a certain amount of teams that can sustain that for so long without having like Leicester's had a good 4, 5, 6 years, 4 or 5 years when they win.
2016, I
16.
think.
So this is their 5th year probably up.
I think so, yeah.
So like, are they a team that's are they now there, or are they're just passing by? What do we think?
They're gonna be interesting.
I don't know, because it's...
Like, is it different time now than it used to be? Because money's different, player development's different. Like back then, it was much obviously more like
Your
team
youth
focused.
systems and yeah.
Like the teams with money has all stayed. The team without money, but now everyone has. I'm gonna say all the money, but like we've shown Leicester can make a lot out of nothing.
Yeah.
But can they do that for 20 years? Or do eventually they need to get more money? Like that's
Interesting.
as sad as it is. It's a money situation.
And also,
It's a business.
the biggest piece to Leicester has been Vardy over the past 4 years, and he's
Right.
now 31, 32,
Yeah, how much longer does he
33
got,
maybe.
so?
What happened? They need to find a replacement for him. Like,
Right.
they lost Mahrez, they lost Conte, who were 2 pivotal players for them. And now, if Vardy, I mean, you can't even say like Vardy's on his way out yet. He still
still
scoring
scores every week.
goals. He's still, so like, but I'm just saying, the time's coming up.
I
so.
think Leicester keep him around no matter how old he is, just to sub him on the last 10 minutes against Arsenal
Yeah,
to get that goal.
yeah, I know. Keep him just to beat Arsenal every year.
He's 67. He's coming. He's biking one in the 90th minute.
All right, but we do agree that Son and Kane are the best duo of all
No.
time.
I don't think
so
any
the
of us
last thing
agree.
we have on this list,
Just making
and
sure.
this is the most accurate thing I think we're gonna say, and probably the only thing that we're actually right about. 6 weeks in,
I think we're right about some other things. I don't know.
Like, this
Like
is the
what? Best
only
duo of all time?
No, 6 weeks in, wide open, anybody's race. Like
It is.
sometimes at this point, like you see, like
Yeah.
like the Liverpool one, they were just killing everybody at this point. But now, yeah, you don't know.
Do you have the table open?
I do.
What's the gap between what's like a 5-point gap in the standings right now? So top of the table to 5 points
I
down.
think it's like 12th or something like that. 13th.
So,
You can do it.
yeah,
probably.
it's 12. So City and West Ham are on 8, and Everton and Liverpool on 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
And
City are
then
game in hand too.
City have a game in hand, right?
And then United have 7. They also have a game now, so they're right behind them.
So it's like
It's-
the top 12, 13 teams in the league are all within 5 points of
points.
each other after 6 weeks, which is like, wow.
I think they said, I think I
crazy.
saw this somewhere that
Love
like
it.
this is
Love
the
this game.
first time that through 6 game weeks not one team is undefeated.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty crazy. Like that's
Again,
And the last team that was
ladies
Aston
and
Villa.
gentlemen-
yeah. Like what?
Ladies and gentlemen, nothing makes sense this year. Nothing.
So,
Hey, you think if the season ended today, like who would win Player of the Year?
Son.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he could win this year, honestly.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty crazy. But I
Depending
think
on
he
where
can.
they finish again.
Yeah.
If they
If they
finish
make a
like
Champions
6th or
League spot,
something, yeah.
I think he can.
I don't think so. But if they finish top 4,
I think he can.
yeah.
If he keeps this up, which hopefully he does, because I like Son. I don't think there's anyone that's like I hate Son. Like he's just such a a likable dude.
I hate Spurs, but I do like him.
Right, like, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he's
I
just
hate
like
Kane. I'll say that. I hate Kane.
I like Kane. I don't like him.
He's a great player, but I hate him.
He golfs. He's a good guy. Are we done?
Wait. That's how you judge people and if they golf or not?
Yeah, Bale, great guy. He golfs. Oh, we got one more thing. This is on the world of soccer.
I'll
this
let
was
you
just
say this.
funniest. All right, so apparently Messi just has Barcelona wrapped around his finger because this man literally said, "Hold up, you have to fire the entire club board, or I'm leaving." And they went,
Okay.
Okay. The board said I'll be stepping down, and we're out.
Yeah, so all rumors to him going to the City next year, I think, are off now.
I don't know if they're off, but they're definitely not as likely as they would have
He
been.
makes the entire board step down and he fucking dips.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, this man has so much freaking power at that team, but he deserves it.
I was gonna say, they're gonna probably rename that stadium to something
they
after him.
are-
They're gonna have statues of him all over the place.
Listen, they are relevant still because he is there, and now they have good young players. But still,
One of them's an American boy, but whatever.
that did look good. Okay, but yeah, this,
But one
this
last
is just
thing.
the funniest thing. Yeah, what's up?
One last thing I want to say was there were rumors of Burnley having a $200 million takeover in ownership from some Egyptian businessman.
Messi to Burnley.
So you never know. Maybe Messi to City, no, but
Yeah, hold
Messi to
on.
Burnley.
If Messi goes to Burnley,
I
I will
fucking like
literally
Burnley.
do whatever you guys send me to do.
First of all, no one would want to go to
Fuck
Burnley.
Burnley.
What is there to do in Burnley?
I will
Nothing.
literally
You wanna
run
like
in the
fuck
ocean
Burnley.
wearing nothing but a Burnley Messi jersey. Okay, quote me on it now.
So
In the freezing cold, in the middle of December.
I mean, it's gonna be on the internet forever now. So if this ever
I'll hold you to it. If he signs with Burnley, butt naked, just the jersey, freezing cold water.
I don't think anyone wants to see that though.
With sharks. I don't even care. With
What
sharks.
about Fulham too?
What?
It's gonna be kid small. It's gonna be a tight one.
Oh, it's going to be very tight. So, by the way, very important note, we're in Eastern Daylight Time. It's going to be Eastern Standard Time next week's episode because we're an hour back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we get turn the hours back.
We turn the hour.
Actually,
Turn the hours back. The clock
We
back.
fall back. We fall back on
What
Sunday.
day? Sunday?
Sunday, 2 a.m. So,
Look at that. You
coming
learned
at you
something
from,
too.
Coming at you from Eastern Standard
Shower
Time.
drink.
Next week. All right, let's get out of here. We're done.
Wait, what are we doing?
What?
Next week's games.
Oh my God, that's
Real
so
quick,
much.
real
I
quick.
forgot.
Ready? Go. He's complaining. He doesn't want to be here. Ready?
I
I'll go
was over
first.
here.
Palace at Wolves. Wolves 3-1.
Bam. Sheffield City. City, please win. I'm not going to say a score. Just please
All right,
win.
Dan, Chelsea, Burnley. At Burnley.
Chelsea should win that pretty easily.
You wanna
I'm
know why?
gonna say 2-0.
Fuck you, Burnley. West Ham, Liverpool.
Be lucky, Burnley.
I don't. 3-0 Liverpool. Garrett, Southampton at Villa.
2-2.
Interesting game though.
I do. I really want to see that game,
How's it
actually.
going?
Wait, what'd you say? 2-2?
2-2.
You waking up 7 a.m.
On Sunday? Maybe on Sunday.
You have the extra hour.
What?
You have the extra hour of sleep.
I do have an extra hour of
Sleep
sleep.
late.
This is true. So really, it's like 8.
Dan, Everton, Newcastle.
Everton should bounce back. And actually,
Without the two, I don't know. Without Dini and
I'm gonna say
Richarlison,
1-1. I'm gonna
That's a
say
tough
1-1
one.
tie.
Newcastle's sneaky.
This one's for me and Dan. Arsenal at United. I know my guess.
3-3.
I was going 0-0.
Different ends of the spectrum there.
Garrett, what do you?
And who's home?
United.
2-1 Arsenal.
Hey.
I hope Donny Van de Beek starts.
He's not going to play. They bought him for nothing.
He's been starting. in
He looks
Champions
great in the stands, though.
League. He's been starting in Champions League. Garrett, Brighton at Tottenham.
Tottenham 3-1. Kane and Son both get a goal.
All right, Garrett, West Brom, Fulham.
Again?
Dan, sorry,
Just
West Brom,
win.
Fulham. West Brom, Fulham.
Pass. Garrett can have that one.
West Brom Fulham? Oh, God.
That's why you know I passed it.
-1 to -1. Is that possible? No, honestly, I don't even care.
No, West Brom 2.
1-1, both
Fulham
own
0.
goals. 1-1, both own goals.
Both buses break down. Neither team makes it to the stadium. They
And
just
then
called a tie.
We'll finish with Leicester at Leeds. I'm gonna go.
That's a good game.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
really
go
good game.
4-2 Leicester.
And it's Monday at 3.
Yeah.
I'm watching that.
I
Okay.
will too.
I'm gonna go 4-2 Leicester.
I mean, we watch all of them. Don't get me wrong.
4-2 Leicester.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 4-2 Leeds.
I'm gonna go 3-2 Leeds.
Leicester, you better fucking win now, just so I have something.
Messi, if you go to Burnley, I swear.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
That's all.
Thank you for watching.
That's all
Thank
she
you
wrote.
for listening. What are it? Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Spotify.
League. That is Premier League and Pints. Also on YouTube. Go subscribe and watch.
At League Pints on TikTok and Twitter.
That's all we got. Right?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
That's all we got. Thanks.
Later.
Bye.